Hi everyone, so we're going to look at the next assignment, which is coloring pages in Photoshop. For this project, we're going to find a coloring page online. You can click on the link attached to the assignment, and that will bring you to the page that I'm currently on, or you can do your own Google search. We're going to search for an image, and we're going to open it up in Photoshop so that we can use the paint bucket tool to add color. We're going to create and rename layers, and eventually you can turn them into some really cool animated GIFs. So for this one, I'm looking for an image, and I want to make sure that I find something that's 1,000 by 1,000 in size. We want a really good quality image. We also want to make sure that we're not finding anything with watermarks on it or things that have kind of broken or faint black lines. So if I look at this one's 820 by 1060. It's a pretty good size. I could use that one. I'd be a little hesitant about something like this, where it might have some kind of weird lines to it. Plus, that's really small. That's 300 by 398. These images have watermarks right on them, so you might be able to crop it out. You'd have to really look at it. I'm really enjoying this turtle though, so I think I'm going to choose him. It's a little bit small. It's only 650 by 775, which is not 1,000 by 1,000. I'm going to click on it though and see if I can find an image that's a little bit higher quality. So I clicked on the turtle. I'm going to click on the size. And in here now I have a whole bunch of versions of this same image. And over on the top left hand side, I have one that's 1,300 by 1,500. That's a great size. I'm going to click it and I'm going to save this one. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to Save Image As, and I'm going to save it into my desktop folder. Make sure you're saving it into your desktop folder. If you need to find it, click on Desktop, search through it. I can find mine right there, and I'm going to hit Save. Once it's saved, I can close down Google for now, or at least I can minimize it. If you need to keep the directions open, you can do that. And I'm going to open up Photoshop. To open my turtle picture, I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to find the image that I just saved. There he is. He's popping up. I can see the file right there. I want to save this, though, as a correct assignment name. So to do this, we're going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to rename this my last name, Color. So I have my last name and the assignment name, and I'm going to save this as a Photoshop document. That is usually your default, but in case it didn't pop up, I'm just going to change it. So right now I have my turtle. I have a layer over here that's my background. And I'm going to use this paint bucket tool, and I need my color swatches so that I can change the color. You're going to choose a color scheme that you want to work in. I gave you some examples and some samples of the various color schemes that you can choose. You can choose a monochromatic, which is only using tints and shades of one color. You can do warm colors, cool colors, primary or secondary. I'm going to choose cool colors for my turtle. So I'm going to leave this black and white layer just like this as the background. I'm going to create a duplicate layer that I can add color to. I can right click on that layer and I can go to duplicate layer. It's going to give me an option to change its name right here in this blue highlighted box. And I'm going to do that by going color layer. And I know I'm going to do several layers, so I'm going to name that color layer 1. Hit OK. Now, a couple of hints or tips when you're adding color to it. It might be really hard to see these little intricate spots. So I'm going to use this shortcut Control Plus to zoom in. If you hold down your space bar, it will turn it into a grab tool, which you can now use your mouse and click and drag this image all the right way around without having to go to your scroll bars. Mine does not work on a laptop, but it will work just fine on your normal desktop computers. So for this first layer, I'm going to start from the center and work my way out. However you feel like you need to start, that's okay. And I'm going to choose cool colors, so I'm going to start with some greens. And I think I want to go with a really nice bright green. I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to start filling in these sections. Now this image has some really nice clean black lines, and I'm able to get it right in there. So I'm just kind of going to create this cool pattern and filling it in. Now, once I'm done with this section, I'm going to create a duplicate layer. And I'll show you that in about right now. So that section is done, and I'm going to right click, go to duplicate layer, color layer 2. So this is my next layer. And for this layer, I'm just going to do a different shade of green. Okay, for my cool colors, I want to stick to blues, greens, and purples or violets. You can, of course, add any neutrals in whenever you want. Those are your blacks, grays, whites, peaches, all your neutrals. So I'm filling all of these sections in. And when I'm done with this section, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to create a duplicate layer. Now, if you don't want to right click and kind of scroll through, you can use the shortcut Control J, and that will create a duplicate layer. You'll have to rename it, so I'm just going to double click on the layer. It will start highlighting it. I'm going to erase the back parts, and I'm going to do color layer 3. Now for this layer, I'm going to purposely make a little mistake. So I'm going to pick a color that I want for this next outside part, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now let's say I accidentally click on the black line. As you can see, now everything has turned black, or everything that was black has now turned to this aqua color. I completely messed up. I can use my undo shortcut, which is Control Alt Z, to go back a step, and that will erase whatever I just did or undo it. This will work too if you make a couple of mistakes. So let's say I color this in, I color that one, I color that one. I made a whole bunch of crazy weird things. I need to go back 3 or 4 steps. I can do Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z until I get it back to where it needs to be. Once I have that, I'm ready to kind of keep going, and I'm going to keep adding color to each section and adding a new layer every time I'm ready for it. All right, so I took some time and I colored in each section of my turtle, and as you can see over here, I have a whole number of layers. So each one is building up on each other. Right now I'm going to have 12 layers. So on this last layer, I'm going to add my background color, and now it is complete. What I can do is I can actually turn off my eyeballs and start to see where the buildup is. This is what it's going to actually turn into, very similar to your animated GIF. When you're completely done with it, I'm going to go to File, Save As, my last name color, make sure it's being saved into my desktop folder, and hit save. I'm going to replace this one because that's the older one, the original one. You could just press save, but this is a good step to just make sure that you're saving your files correctly. Hit OK, OK. I'm going to save again. File, Save As, and this time I'm going to save it as a JPEG. Remember, I need your JPEG so that I can print and display your work, but I need your Photoshop document so that I can see all of the layers and all of the work that you're doing. Think of it as math class. You get credit for showing your work, right? I can't give you credit if I can't see your work. Nothing shows me that this is what you did as opposed to you just kind of rush through things. So I'm going to hit OK, and now it is saved. Before I close down anything, I'm going to go into my folder, and I'm going to make sure that they're both there. So I can see I have my original turtle coloring page, but then I have my assignment, my last name color, JPEG, which is the preview, and next to it, I also have Haley color, which is my Photoshop document. If I open this up, the turtle will appear. This is ready to upload and turn in to Google Classroom. You're going to turn in both your JPEG and your PSD for full credit. If you're interested in turning this into an animated GIF, you can click on that tutorial and I'll show you how to turn this into an animated GIF using the timeline feature in Adobe Photoshop.